Well, I'd just like to start this video by saying a massive congratulations to Matthew Wolff. Matthew Wolff is the latest winner on the PGA Tour in America. In only his 4th start, Matthew was able to capture the 3M Classic. In this video, we're going to take a look at what clubs Matthew used in order to accomplish this great feat, and we're also going to look at his extremely unique swing. Let's get into it. Right then, so before we get into the what's in the bag, I'm just going to throw you over to my colleague Jack Lee, who's actually in Ickleton Pro Shop, ready to do the swing analysis. So over to you, Jack. Thanks, Jack. Right, let's have a look at the swing in depth of Matthew Wolff. The first thing that I want you to pay attention to is the club being way outside the hands on the takeaway. We can then see as he comes to the top of the backswing, his left heel is massively off the floor. This is so that he can tap into those vertical forces. One thing that George Gankus, who is Matthew Wolff's coach, speaks about is that he's took his athleticism from being an extremely good baseball player and added a lot of that into his golf swing. So if you look at the shape of his swing, i.e. very up and very round, almost like a baseball swing, and the fact that he uses his left foot to kind of come off the floor, plants it, uses that vertical force to generate a lot of power. A lot of golf coaches might have said, no, I don't want you to swing this way, we need to make it look more traditional, but George, being one of the best coaches in the world, has seen that potential and put it into a golf swing, and that's why it works so good. The little jerk that Matthew does is extremely interesting. So he will start his swing with an opening of the shoulders. It's like a very idiosyncratic move to Matthew. The reason why he does this is he says that sometimes in his address position his chest and shoulder alignment can get quite close, so just to open it back up he does a little bit of one of those before he goes. Massive shoulder turn, massive hip turn. There's a lot of characteristics in his swing that causes massive speed, and then we need to think about how much that shaft shallows in transition. So you will notice that from the top of the backswing his lead wrist, his left wrist, goes into flexion, which means that that club, and more specifically the centre of mass of that club, can trail behind him, go down and around. From there he can rotate massively. This is where a lot of speed comes into the equation, and once that centre of mass is to shallow, we see a lot of amateur golfers, the centre of mass will steepen, the shaft will steepen at the top of the backswing. This means that club face is more likely to be open to a path. It means that we're losing power because ideally we want that centre of mass of the club to shallow and work around, and the body to rotate a lot. So the fact that it is moving down and around, Matthew is able to rotate massively. It creates a load of speed, it controls his dynamic line angle very well, it controls his club face very well. This is an extremely powerful, extremely efficient golf swing. Although it might look a bit weird, it is sensational. Back out to you, Jack. Carry on with the what's in the bag. I think you're doing a great job, mate. Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Right then, let's have a look at what clubs he used. First up, driver. Right, so Matt Wolff is a TaylorMade staff player, which means all of his bag is TaylorMade. Firstly, let's look at his driver. So he uses a TaylorMade M5 set at 8 degrees with a Tour Design ADTP7TX shaft in it, so extra stiff, I'm guessing, as many of the Tour guys do. Then when we look at his 3-wood, he's also got an M5 in the 3-wood, 15 degrees this time, with a Graphite Design BBX8 shaft, again extra stiff. Right, so next let's look at the irons that Matt uses. He uses a TaylorMade P762 iron, which is the slightly larger head in the TaylorMade iron. Slight cavity, but nothing too massive. Then we move into the P750s, which are the next size down from those. The reason why these are called 760-750s is because that is the millimetre of the blade length, in case you didn't know that. So P762 iron, P750 40 pitching wedge with the Nippon NS Pro Modus 130 grams extra stiff shafts again. Then when we look at his wedges, this is quite an interesting combination. So Matt's got 52, 56 and 62, which is a rare setup for most Tour players, but they do have the True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100 shafts in, which are pretty much a staple for a lot of Tour players. In case you missed it, Matt actually sank a 30-footer slightly off the green up against the corner of the rough in order to win the 3M Classic, I think it's called, 3M Open, not quite sure. And the putter that he used to do so was the TaylorMade Spider X Copper. It's the one with the white on it, the black line running through the middle. We actually did have one in our pro shop. I think I did a review on it, so if you've not watched that already, make sure you go do so. But yeah, the winning putter that Matt Wolff used was the TaylorMade Spider X. Now golf ball is an interesting one. You would expect Matt Wolff to use a TaylorMade TP5 or TP5X. He actually uses a Titleist Pro V1. Golf ball must not be included in his deal with TaylorMade. And grips wise, he uses the Golf Pride Z grip. So there you go, that is the what's in the bag for the most recent winner on the PGA Tour, 20-year-old phenom, as taught by George Gankus, Matt Wolff. And a little bit of a swing analysis in there for you as well. So if you've liked this video, please like, share, subscribe. Plenty more content coming. And yeah, I think the only thing left to say is until next time, thanks for watching. Cheers.